Hi everyone, I'm Aneesa.
And I'm Tahir.
Welcome to our channel, Offbeat Life. We'd love it if you'd stay and subscribe and also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Today we're going to be sharing with you a gluten-free granola recipe.
And of course, it's vegan.
So you might be surprised to see that I have a co-host today, my lovely husband, for a recipe video, but there's a reason for that. This recipe is so simple, I wanted to have you join us to demonstrate how easy it really is.
Wow. Here I got excited. I'm gonna get some airtime and she wants me in the video, and all of a sudden I see it's really a backhanded compliment. You're saying this is so easy that even I can make this.
Well,
Wow.
you know, I mean, some people cook, some people eat, you know.
Honestly, like, this is disappointing and I wanna leave and not be part of this video. But you know what? When you get some airtime, you gotta take it when you get it. Okay, here we go.
Are you ready?
All right, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with 2 cups of gluten-free rolled oats. These are large flake oats, so they're already in the bowl. So now we're gonna add in 3/4 of a cup of nuts. You can use any nuts that you have on hand. The ones that we have here are pecans.
Cool.
So dump them in.
Okay. All right, what's next?
So then we have 1/4 of a cup of shredded coconut. You just throw it right in. And this is unsweetened coconut flakes. And then we're gonna add in a pinch of salt.
Okay, a pinch of salt. Why can't I just pinch it? Just
You
a
can
pinch of
absolutely
salt.
pinch it. Go for
I
it.
want to be a pro.
Okay,
How's that for a pinch?
perfect. The salt is there just to kind of help balance out the flavors a little bit and actually to brighten some of the flavors as well.
All right.
Then we're gonna go in with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon.
A full teaspoon?
Yep.
Cool. How's that?
That's it, just throw it in.
Okay.
So you'll notice we're dealing with our dry ingredients first. Perfect. So then I'm gonna ask you to get into our wet ingredients. So I've got some maple syrup here and some oil. And I also have some vanilla. So could you take 1 teaspoon of vanilla and put it into the maple syrup?
I can do that.
And I do it this way rather than just pouring it in, so that way it kind of blends easier. So you get all of that flavor distributed throughout. So kind of give it a little bit of a mix. Perfect. And now you're gonna throw it into your bowl.
All right. Both of these?
Yeah. So we've got
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, maple syrup. So we've got 3 tablespoons of maple syrup and 3 tablespoons of oil. Here I'm using extra virgin olive oil, and you don't have to worry about using olive oil here because we are cooking it at a low heat. You should be fine, but you can certainly use any oil you want.
Cool.
And now we'll get to mixing. So you can just
All
go
right.
ahead and mix.
Here we go.
And the goal here is to make sure everything is evenly distributed and all of the grains of oats as well as the nuts are all coated with a little bit of olive oil or whatever oil you're using and a little bit of maple syrup.
Cool.
So it looks like you've done a great job here mixing everything through.
Thanks.
So now we're going to have you transfer it to a sheet pan that I've lined here with some parchment paper to make sure it doesn't stick. And what you're gonna try to do is when you're distributing it, you want it to be as thin as possible to make sure that we have even cooking when we're baking it in the oven and make sure everything gets nice and evenly golden brown.
Cool.
And one of the things you might also be wondering is, you know, with this granola recipe, we are going to be adding in some dried fruit, but the key is to make sure you add the dried fruit once the granola has already cooked. Because if we added it in when we're baking it, it's going to get really, the dried fruit is going to get really dry and really not great in terms of mouthfeel. It'll get stuck in your teeth, and that's not what we want.
The dried fruit is gonna get drier?
It's going to get drier. That's our pro tip for you, so don't do that.
No.
Yeah. So now we'll have you spread it out, and then we're gonna put it in the oven at 325 for 20 minutes. And then we're gonna check it at 20 minutes. We're gonna kind of give it a nice toss through to make sure everything is still getting nice and golden brown. We're gonna put it back in the oven and probably for about another 10 minutes to just even out the baking. And then we'll check on it and see if it's ready.
Sounds good.
So our granola is now out of the oven. It's been cooled. I will note that when we took it out at the 20-minute mark and we gave it a little toss, we only needed an extra 5 minutes, but you'll just want to pay attention to your own granola and decide on the color that you like.
Every oven's different, right?
And every oven's different, that's right. And depending on the oil, it might be different. Like you're a natural at this.
I try to tell you. I've been watching. I've been training. You know, I've been in a lab. You know, watching video, watching film, breaking things down. So,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
So now it's time to add in the dried fruit, and we've got half a cup of dried fruit here. Today we're using a combination of raisins and dried cranberries, but use any dried fruit that you have on hand.
Just
so
spread it
kind
around?
of like sprinkle it over and kind of give it a nice even distribution. And even if it's not even, we're just gonna toss it anyway, so it's totally fine.
Cool.
Nice. So you'll go ahead and give that a nice good mix around.
Okay.
Wow, look at this. You're gonna like take over my role in the kitchen soon.
I mean, you know.
Does that mean that I have to do the dishes then?
Yeah.
I don't want to do the dishes. I'd rather be the cook.
Hey, listen, you know, you have to look at labor costs. You know, you got to run this business in a smart way.
Probably I'm the more efficient one when it comes to cooking in the kitchen. So then you'll want to go ahead and just transfer this to an airtight container. We use just mason jars around here. And then you just leave it on your countertop or in your pantry, and you can, you know, up to a week. Ours never lasts a week.
No.
Really? Like
no.
we're probably a couple of days max, and then we have to make a new batch.
It's gone.
Yeah.
I think this past week it went 3 days, 4 days?
I think it may have gone 3 days.
3 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't the one. I just have my portion in the morning, but you know.
Guys gotta eat.
Yeah, he's snacking, he's having it for meals, like he's eating it all the time. So no, it's really great to have on hand, and you can mix it up and use lots of different ingredients, whatever you've got on hand. But this is a great base to get you started. So that's it.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us as always. We really hope you enjoy this meal. Take some pictures of your granola in different ways. Yeah, there's a billion ways to have granola. You can have it dry, you can have it with milk, you can top it on, you know, you can make a vegan parfait, whatever you want. There's so many different ways.
You can even add it to your smoothie bowls for some extra texture.
Right.
That's a really
I
great
haven't
one.
done it in a while.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
about to
been
happen.
cold. We'll probably get into the smoothie
Yeah,
bowls again
that's
when it gets
summertime
warmer.
thing.
Yeah. So it's a great thing to add texture, or just, you know, to eat it plain with some plant-based milk and some fruit, and that's kind of our favorite way to have it anyway. So yeah. So until next time.
Back to my wrap up before Aneesa jumps in. Thanks for joining us. Please remember to subscribe and hit the like button. And we'll see you next time on Offbeat Life.
Bye.
See ya.